Hello and welcome back to Rodney Parade Newport. And if you're new to the channel, do all that subscribe stuff to help the channel grow. And here we are at Rodney Parade, top of the league, but I'd like to say things are going very well. But I can't. And through February there were wins against Barrow and Oldham, but defeats against Northampton, Mansfield and Tranmere. And things were not looking good at all. But despite our problems on the field, we remain at the top after 34 games, 5 points clear of our nearest rival Swindon and 6 points clear of Forest Green. Coming into March, on the back of those two defeats, we needed to make some changes, and it was becoming very difficult to put together a back line using a 3 at the back. So what we decided to do was to move to a more traditional back 4. This would allow us to be a little bit more solid in defence, with on the left a wing back in support and a no-nonsense fullback on the left-hand side. On our right-hand side, where we seem to be conceding a lot of goals from. And we would use our attacking midfielder as an ongash, a pivot who would just hold his position, and with his vision and passing skills, hopefully he would be able to supply through balls for people running past him. And we would be playing, obviously, through the middle, more direct style. So we were hopeful this might bring us back to winning ways. But sadly, it didn't work. And against Bristol Rovers, even though we dominated the game, at the end of the day, Bristol Rovers managed to beat us 1-0 at home. But I had faith in it, and I felt this was the best way to stop the decline. And against Stevenage, it paid off, and we came out of that game away at Stevenage with a 3-0 victory. And against Carlisle, we had a similar scoreline, a very emphatic victory with 3 late goals, including this one from Ed Upson. From a throw-in, Dolan fed Azaz with a little 1-2, and Upson from 30 yards with an absolute screamer. And so as we come to the end of March and the final fixture at home to Hartlepool, we are back on track. 2 victories. And we should really now see this as an opportunity to build on that as we come into the final run-in. And so Hartlepool get the game underway. And this is a game that we must win. And a game that we should win, and no excuses at the end of today. We are playing the Friday evening game, which means that all of our rivals will be playing tomorrow, and this gives us a real opportunity to pull ahead from the rest of the pack. And I'm expecting nothing but a win, as that was a great tackle by Kane. And I think we'll be seeing more of that young lad, because we've just extended his loan contract for the whole of next year. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of Kane, as Abraham can't get his shot away. It's a good block by Hartlepool, and Livermore picks up the ball. We're going to be seeing a lot more of him too. As a young boy, he's developing very nicely. And here's Clark. He finds Kane. Kane to Thomas. Dolan, he finds Haynes. Now, can we get it in? Can we get it into the box? Here comes Haynes. No, he passes it back to Dolan's and Kane, where it's a bit compact in there, and that's a speculative long-range shot by Kane. Just when I'm bigging him up, he goes and does something like that. And so it's Newport controlling the game. We're very much in control of this game, and it doesn't. And here's Thomas. And Thomas, again, with a very speculative long-range effort. And I think we need to be telling them that we need to stop doing that and to work the ball a little bit closer to the penalty area before we start taking these shots on. And here's Clark. Clark fires it forward, looking for Abraham. Abraham to Thomas. Thomas is looking for Hilton, and Hilton's in the clear. Can he score? No, he can't. And Hilton's goal drought goes on. He hasn't scored in around about 15 games, and this is beginning to be a bit of a worry for Hilton. And still, it's Newport on the attack. It's looking very good. We are dominating the match. The tactic is working just fine, and I'm very optimistic that we're going to see this out with a nice, comfortable victory. But here come Hartlepool into the box, and that's a very tame header that goes straight to Day. Day feeds Farquharson. Farquharson, who's becoming a very, very mature footballer. But it's a corner for Hartlepool. And it's swung into the box. And there's a header that hits the post. And somehow Newport get it clear. And we have to be very careful. Even though we're dominating the game, this is possibly one of those games where it could just be stolen with a very rare attack from the opposition. Here comes Thomas. What can he do? He feeds Haynes, and Haynes strikes it straight at the goalkeeper. This is good from Newport. But at half-time, it's Newport 0, Hartlepool 0. And so Newport get us away in the second half. We've told the boys that we need to do better. 0-0 is not good enough, and we should be winning this match. So come on, boys, get yourselves together. You can win this. And here comes Haynes. Haynes on the left-hand side. Can he get across into the box? Yes, he can, but that's headed away by Skelton. And Clark picks the ball up. What can he do? He flicks it inside to Livermore. Livermore to Thomas. Thomas to Kane. Kane to Dolan. We're passing it around really nicely. Thomas gives it to Abraham. And unfortunately, just a little overcomplicated, and Hartlepool were able to break that up. And it's possible that we maybe are playing a little bit too narrow, and possibly we need to widen our focus of attack, as Livermore takes a shot, and that is so close. So I think that what we might do is just ask them to play a little bit wider. We'll leave it for a little while. We'll just see what happens as Newport continue to press, and it really is one-way traffic, but we really are having trouble breaking them down. Thomas feeds Kane. Kane over the top for Dolan, but that's easily read and cut out by Hartlepool. Molyneux gives it to Hendry. Hendry to Udinese, and he gives it back all the way to Mitchell. Something has got to happen here. We can't really afford to go back into this 1-1 draws, the 0-0 draws, and I'm really struggling to work out what to do. We are creating chance after chance, and it's just not going right for us. We're totally in control of possession in the midfield as Hilton to Dolan, and Haynes. Haynes is in, and it fires it straight at the goalkeeper. It does look as if it's going to be one of those days. Farquharson with the throw. He feeds Abraham. Farquharson with a cross into the box, and that's headed clear. And Hartlepool have the ball. I'm struggling to work out what to do here. Probably take off Abraham. Because he's not having his greatest game. Parker, on the other hand, and the entire defence are having a smashing game. And we totally look comfortable at the back. But up top, although we're creating chances, we're just not able to take them. As Telford tries to feed Haynes, and that's easily cleared. And Hartlepool bring the ball forward, and that's inside to Sykes. Sykes over the top for Ogle. What can he do? He runs down the touchline, and can he get to the byline and get a cross in? Yes, he can, and that's just over the bar, and Newport get away with it. Really, we need to score, because when they break away like that, things look terrifying. And here's Telford. Telford gives it to Haynes. Haynes, who's having a fabulous game on the left. It's just we're being let down in front of goal, and there's another header easily collected by the goalkeeper. And it's just one-way traffic, and I'm really struggling to know why we can't score after all this time. Farquharson, we bring it forward again. Parker, back to Farquharson. And that's a lovely ball out to Telford. Upson finds Telford. Telford back to Haynes. And Haynes again, careering down that left. He finds Abraham. And again, it's headed over the bar. Come on, get your act together. We really should be 3 or 4-0 up here. And we're not. And I'm getting a little bit desperate in terms of what to do. We're going to go more attacking now. We're just going to put everything up top, take a few risks, and see what happens. And Farquharson has the ball again, as Newport come forward again. Upson feeds Farquharson. Farquharson, who's had an absolutely storming game. And I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. It was an aimless pass, and has given the ball straight back to Hartlepool. And Hartlepool bring it forward. They're passing it around now. And we need to get the ball back. And they're just slowing the game down now. They're just like, they feel that maybe a 0-0 is good enough. And that is full time. It's Newport 0, Hartlepool 0. And that was not what was required today. But it was all good news, because the following day, Forest Green were beaten away 1-0 by Colchester. Crawley beat Swindon very easily by 3-1. And the other rivals, Bristol Rovers, were beaten 1-0 away at Northampton. And this left us 7 points clear at the top of the league, with just 8 games to go. And I was not expecting this, and quite frankly, it may be just one season too early to actually get promoted to Sky Bet League One. And so, with 8 fixtures to go, I don't want you to miss any of the excitement, and I hope you will follow along with me as we progress to the end. And we'll probably be back for the Swindon or Crawley game, depending on how things work out over the next couple of games. And we'll see where we're at that point. And that's it for this week. And if you are following along, don't forget, leave a like and leave a comment in the comment section, as it will all help the channel to grow. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, click the bell, so you won't miss out on any of the upcoming excitement over the next few weeks. And all that remains to be said now is, I'll see you in the run-in.